Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be ranking the best shooting guards in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM on a tier list. Before we hop into this video, if you haven't, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 3,000 subscriber mark on the channel. Also, quickly, shout out to TyDeBo, and I think actually probably Nate, TyDeBo's editor, and his brother for making this tier list, because I am using the template that they made for the shooting guard position, so I do appreciate them for making that tier list. Basically making this tier list possible by having this template already made. But yeah, without further ado, let's not waste any time. Let's hop into it and start off with Adrian Dantly. And to be completely honest, there are going to be some cards on this list that I just don't know a lot about, and Adrian Dantly is one of those cards. Shooting guard spot 40, 6'5" with 6'8" wingspan, 88 speed and excel, and 80 driving dunk. Not the greatest of shooters. Does get sniper and limitless spot up. He's badge wise, actually he's solid. Gold quick first step. Does get the clamps badge. He's not terrible. 6'5" isn't great, but it's not terrible. Jump shot 18 is pretty bad. It's that Monte Ginobili base. It's really gross, honestly. Don't recommend running this card. Fundamental dribble style. He's just not. The jump shot really kills the card. I feel like that's the biggest drawback, because defensively he's not completely awful. Slashing wise, he's not completely awful. Ratings just aren't that bad, but this card's not going to be good because of the jump shot. Jump shot is so key at the shooting guard position. I'm going to throw him in C tier for now, but I think there's a chance he may get moved down to the D tier. Actually, I'm just going to throw him in D tier because that jump shot is terrible. You just can't use that type of jump shot. Bingo Smith, I think, is probably a B tier guy. He was the season 2 diamond token reward card, and actually not that bad of a card. 6'5", 6'8" wingspan. It's the same size as Adrian Danley. 88 speed, 87 excel, 85 speed ball, 87 shot 3, 80 driving dunk, and decent-ish defensive stats on the perimeter. Does come with gold clamps and pick dodger, silver intimidator, bronze menace, gold quick for step, handles for days, gold sniper, a couple Hall of Fame badges, but none of them are all that great except for maybe Hots on Hunter. Doesn't get sniper, or he does have sniper on gold, I'm sorry, but doesn't get limitless spot up. Doesn't get posterizer. His jump shot is decent, not great. Power dribble style isn't great. He's decent. He can play a little bit of defense. He can shoot wide open. His jumper is solid. Not a bad card, but not a great card either. I think B tier is fair. Chris Duarte is C tier. Definitely honestly not the worst card for a Sapphire. He's pretty good, but the problem is he is just a Sapphire. 6'6" with a 6'9" wingspan is solid size. He's got hot spots from everywhere. 18 hoffs, or I'm sorry, T18 golds, which isn't great, but still, he does have sniper. Doesn't get limitless. Does get quick for step, but I wouldn't recommend adding that to a Sapphire card. Don't recommend badging them out. Doesn't come with he has silver clamps, so that's not bad. Gold interceptor, pick dodger, poker stick. He's got a couple badges for him. Defensive stats are okay. He can dunk wide open. Shooting is decent. Jump shot is pretty good as well. It's that 101 base, which is not that bad. Fundamental dribble style is pretty good as well. He's not a bad card, not a great card, just missing a lot of badges and not the best of slashers, but he's not a completely terrible card, and I think you could still run him with a little bit of success. So C tier seems fair to me. C tier Mccollum, I'm not sure if he's B or A tier, to be completely honest. I'm going to look at the card and then make a complete determination, but 6'3" with 6'6" wingspan is not great size, I will say. 89 speed and excel, 93 shot 3, can dunk wide open. Defensive stats are okay. Speed of ball is pretty good. Defensive badge wise, he needs clamps, he needs interceptor, intimidator, menace, pogo stick. He needs some badges for sure, but shooting badge wise, he's really solid. Finishing badges aren't great, but they're not terrible. And then playmaking badges are really, really good. Jump shot, CJ McCollum has base 4, which is good. Shifty dribble style as well is super nice, so he can create his own shot at a higher level than most of the other shooting guards in the game, which I think does give him that extra benefit, even though he's not going to be that good of a defender, and he does need a solid amount of badges. The fact that he can create his own shots at a high level compared to all the other shooting guards, or the vast majority of the other shooting guards, really does help him out. For that reason, I'll put him in B tier. Cliff Hagen, I think, is A tier. I don't think he's quite elite enough to be in that S tier of shooting guard, but 97 offense, 92 defense is really good. 88 speed and excel, 86 speed with ball, 70 driving dunk, 92 shot 3, decent perimeter stats, and solid interior as well. 79 interior, 79 block is pretty good for a guard at this point in the game. Defensive badges are solid. Overall, he's not missing that many badges. Interceptor is key. Chase Darnold is a good one to add as well. Limitless spot up, so he needs those 3 badges added, but otherwise it comes with most of the badges he needs. Hall of Fame catch and shoot is really nice. Jump shot 17 base is really good. Fundamental dribble style is the 3rd best dribble style in the game. We will take that. Not elite size, but he's just a solid all-around card. Does a solid job with the shooting guard position. You can run him and have success, and I think he definitely is an A tier guy. Clyde Drexler is kind of on that similar level to Cliff Hagen. A little bit bigger, maybe not quite as good of a creator, but probably a slightly better defender, and slightly more athletic, for sure. Definitely more athletic. 94 speed and excel, 88 speed of ball, a 98 driving dunk is great. 87 shot 3 is super solid. Defensive stats, again, are pretty solid. Defensive badge wise, not bad. Clamps can be upgraded to gold as well. Hardy comes with gold, quick first step, glue hands, silver bailout, and bullet passer that can be upgraded. Does not get limitless spot up, but he gets most of the other badges. And the other Clyde Drexler does get limitless spot up for the 75th anniversary, which does help him out a bit. Jump shot is really, really solid. It's easy to green. He's not going to be creating his own shot with base dribble style, which is definitely one of the worst dribble styles in the game. But he's a great slasher, really solid defender, and has a really nice jump shot as well. So he's definitely a solid shooting guard option. Not a bad card at all. Colin Sexton is a guy who here's the thing. Colin Sexton is a pretty good card, but he's only 6'1", and that definitely hurts the card at this point in the game. 6'1" with 6'7" wingspan is just really undersized for the shooting guard position. Great stats: 94 speed and excel, 94 speed with ball, 85 driving dunk, can shoot well. Defensively, he's solid. Badge-wise, not a bad card. Hall of Fame quick first step is great. His shooting badges are pretty complete, except for Limitless, which you can't add to him. Quick dribble style is great. Jump shot is really solid. He's not a bad card. That's the thing. He's really not. He's a solid slasher as well. At the point guard position, really good card. As shooting guard, he's just too undersized to be any higher than B tier. Despite that being the case, I do think he's a super solid card, and I definitely do still think he is a B tier shooting guard. Dan Marley, I have not used this card. Nobody has yet because he hasn't actually come out from limited yet, but 6'6" with a 6'9" wingspan, hotspots from everywhere, 9 hosts, including catch and shoot, sniper, and a bunch of defensive badges like clamps, menace, pick dodger, and pickpocket. Defensive stats are elite. 89 speed, excel, and speed of ball is solid. Solid slasher, really good shooter. Shooting badges are great. Playmaking badges are solid. Defensive badges are great. This card actually looks really good. He might be an S tier guy. Jump shot 7 is Dario Saric's release, which is pretty good. Fundamental dribble style, so he can even burst a bit. You know what? I'm going to put Dan Marley in S tier. I think when he comes out, he's going to be an S tier shooting guard. His stats look really good. Badge-wise, he looks elite. I think Dan Marley has a lot of potential at the shooting guard position, so I'm going to put him in that S tier. D'Angelo Russell, I think, is probably C tier, and I will explain why in just a second. I got to get his stats up first. But 6'5" with 6'9" wingspan is decent size. 88 speed is excel. So the ball is solid. 65 driving dunk, so he can dunk wide open. Here's the problem. Doesn't get the quick first step badge. That is the first problem. Second problem, doesn't get clamps, doesn't get intimidated, doesn't get menace, doesn't get ball stripper or pickpocket. Just missing a lot of badges. Defensive stats are terrible. Jump shot is decent, but it's not elite even on quick. It's a little bit, tiny bit baited, I think. He does move well in the half court, but without quick first step, it's going to limit his ability to effectively get those burst animations that you'd like to get with a shifty dribble style, which kind of takes away from that dribble style being an advantage. And just the fact that he's missing quick first step and he's missing a lot of defensive badges really hurts the card. Shooting wise, he's decent, even though his jumper's not great, but just overall not an elite card at this point in the game. Danny Green is legitimately borderline A tier because here's the thing about Danny Green is he gives you an elite 3-and-D shooting guard. 6'6" with a 6'10" wingspan is solid size, hotspots from everywhere. He comes with a bunch of good shooting badges, including Limitless and Sniper, and then Hall of Fame clamps, Gold Interceptor, Intimidator, ankle braces, menace, pick dodger, pickpocket, great defensive stats, of elite shooting, can dunk wide open, and he's not the fastest card. He's not going to create his own shot at all. Slasher dribble style isn't great, but his jumper is really good. It's super easy to green, nice and quick. He is an elite 3-and-D guy, and elite 3-and-D guys at the shooting guard position right now are still A tier cards, I think. And for that reason, I'm going to put Danny Green in the A tier. Daryl Griffith is probably a C tier guy at this point, just not that good of a card. 6'4" with 6'7" wingspan, great slasher, decent-ish shooter, decent-ish defender, needs a lot of badges, and I don't recommend adding badges to a card like this. Is not able to get the quick first step badge, which hurts. Power dribble style sucks. His jump shot is a little bit slow. It's Gary Payton's release, which is not a bad jumper, but on a shooting guard, you'd like to see a quicker jumper for a guy who's going to need to be a more effective catch and shoot. Also doesn't get limitless spot up. He needs a lot of badges added, doesn't have a lot of total badges, just not a good card. Honestly, I'm going to put him in D tier just because I do not think he is a card that is worth running at all at this point in the game. David Thompson is honestly pretty similar to Daryl Griffith. I think they're both slashing shooting guards who are just kind of limited at this point. I'm not sure if he's a C or D tier guy as I click on the wrong David, but let's give it another chance. 6'4" with 6'7" wingspan, same size as Daryl Griffith, 91 speed and excel, can shoot a little bit. He's a little bit better statistically than Daryl Griffith, but badge-wise, same thing, not good. Doesn't get limitless spot up. He does get sniper. Does have quick first step on silver that can be upgraded. Does get a couple defensive badges, but no clamps. No clamps on a 6'4" card. Jump shot 9 is decent, not great. Power dribble style, he's also D tier. Just not a good card. I don't recommend running him at this point in the game. Demar Derozan. Here's the thing. If Demar Derozan could get more badges, I still think this card would be relatively usable, but the fact that he can't definitely does hurt him. 95 offense, 83 defense, 6'7" with a 6'9" wingspan is really good size. With his dynamic duo, he's actually not that bad, but without the dynamic duo, he's definitely not that great, especially since he doesn't get limitless, he doesn't get sniper, he doesn't get quick first step. Defensively, he does get a lot of defensive badges if you want to add them to him, but defensive stats aren't great. Dunking is really good. Speed is okay. 67 three-pointer is really low. You can still green open just because of how easy shooting is this year, but you would like to see that a little bit higher, especially since he can't get limitless spot up or sniper. Shifty dribble style is great. His 6.5 court are decent. His jump shot is amazing. When we get a better DeMar DeRozan card, he's going to be a monster. And the reason that I'm not putting him in D tier is because of his size as well as his defensive ability and the fact that you can still green open with the card because of how good his jumper is. But the problem is he's missing too many badges to be any better than C tier. I think even putting him in C tier might be a bit generous at this point. Desean Stevenson, I think he's also C tier. I used this card and he's just not very good. His jumper is challenging to green. Doesn't come with any finishing badges. Doesn't really come into any playmaking badges. Doesn't get quick first step. He's a 3-and-D guy, but he's bit undersized. 6'5" isn't bad, I guess, but his jump shot is really fast and it's tough to green, which isn't a great combination. Really fast is nice, but it's very hard to green. Like, I basically can't green with it. Slasher dribble style, so he's not going to be able to create his own shot, especially with no playmaking badges. Doesn't get limitless or sniper. Slashing, I guess, is decent. He can catch and shoot. Defensively, he's not terrible, but just not a good card. I think he's a C tier guy. Don't recommend running him at this point. Desmond Bain is another one of those B or C tier guys. Probably, honestly, C tier, but I'm going to give him a chance real quickly and look at his stats again. 6'5" with a 6'4" wingspan, so he's got a negative wingspan, which hurts. Defensively, he sucks. He can shoot. He can dunk a bit. Shooting badges are solid. Does have limitless spot up on gold. Sniper on gold and Hall of Fame catch and shoot. Needs a ton of defensive badges, though, and I don't recommend badging out amethyst cards unless they're really good. This card is not that good. So, not going to play any defense for you. Jump shot wise, 83 is, I honestly don't know how good that jumper is. Slasher dribble style sucks. And overall, just not a good card. I'm going to move him down to the C tier. Don't recommend running him either. Yet another C tier shooting guard, Devin Booker. The thing about this Devin Booker is he's missing a ton of key badges. The other Devin Booker, who we'll get to us in a second, is significantly better. But this one, 88 shot 3, terrible defensive stats, doesn't get good defensive badges like interceptor or clamps, which are two of the most important, arguably maybe the two most important defensive badges, as well as no quick first step, no handles for days. Shooting badges are great, and his jumper is good. It's easy to green. Jump shot forward, it's a nice upper. But base dribble style, so he can't really create his own shot, and he's a defensive liability at the highest level, as well as no quick first step. Just not a good card. C tier might be a bit generous for this Devin Booker. Now, here's the thing. The other Devin Booker, I think, is legitimately A tier, but the reason that I say that is there's a significant difference between these two cards. For one, this D-Book has much better defensive stats. Also, he's got Hall of Fame sniper, Hall of Fame blinders, Hall of Fame catch and shoot, gold limitless spot, much better badges, gold quick first step, does get clamps, interceptor, intimidator if you want to add those to him defensively. He is a significantly better card. Just basically is able to do everything the other D-Book couldn't do, and also a little bit quicker as well. He's just a better overall card, significantly better. Definitely an A-tier shooting guard, and I still think he is a very super solid option. Donovan Mitchell is very similar to Colin Sexton, probably a slightly worse Colin Sexton. When this card first came out, he was elite, but it is a bit past his time at this point in the game. But that being said, 93 speed and excel is great, 93 speed with ball. Tons of total badges. A lot of them can be upgraded as well, but a lot of them are on silver, and I don't recommend badging out a card like this at this point in the game, but if you can find one totally badged out, he's still a solid card. Badge and stat-wise, he's really, really solid. Jump shot is really nice. Shifty dribble style. His half-court sigs are really good. He's a very good all-around card. You can still use this card with some success, and I do think he does deserve to be B tier, despite the fact that he is only 6'1". Very similar to Colin Sexton, probably a slightly worse Colin Sexton, but B tier still seems fair for him. Doug Collins, another B tier guy, probably a slightly worse Danny Green, but not a completely terrible card either. 6'6" with a 6'9" wingspan. He can shoot wide open with an 84 shot 3, can dunk wide open, can defend a bit. He is worse than Danny Green, but he does have the ability to get limitless spot up and quick first step if you want to badge him out. I don't really recommend it, but he comes with the other badges that he needs. Jump shot 12 is solid. Stat Paul Silas, Draymond Green, at least fundamental is a good dribble style, so he may be able to create his own shot just a bit. He's better than every card in C tier, so for that reason, I think he's B tier. Drazen Petrovic, another guy who's probably a B tier guy. Petrovic is 87 speed and excel, 97 shot 3, can dunk wide open, can defend a little bit, gold clamps, gold pick dodger. He comes with some decent badges, can get interceptor and pogo stick as well. Gold quick first step, super solid shooting with blinders, catch and shoot, limitless spot up and sniper. These are probably the 4 best shooting badges in my team, and he has all of them on Hoff, which is amazing. He's a knockdown shooter, great release. Not gonna be able to create his own shot, but catch and shoot on the offensive end. He's elite, and he will play just a bit of defense, so I think that still does stand for a B tier card. Not as good as Danny Green in terms of the 3-A-D guy, but he does give you an elite 3 with a little bit of D, so I think that is still a solid card. Duncan Robinson, this card is just outdated, plain and simple. He honestly could have, he has potential, but 79 speed, awful defensive stats. He can dunk, but that's literally it. Is slashing ability and catch and shoot wide open. He can shoot wide open, which is nice. Jump shot is decent. 40 on quick is the Gary Payton release, but it's quicker, which is nice. Shifty dribble style and pipping behind the back is great as well. He's got really good sigs, but with only 79 speed, it's just not going to do anything for you. You'd have to fully badge him out to even make him at any level usable, and he's just not worth doing that to at this point in the game. Not a good card, but he has potential. If we get a better Duncan Robinson later this year, watch out, because he might be a solid card. Dwayne Wade, is it disrespectful to put the Flash in D tier? Like, he's just not good. And I know he has Hall of Fame quick first step and 5 Hall of Fame badges and solid stats, but he's missing too many shooting badges. He's missing a little spot up and sniper, which are key for shooting guards. No handles for days or quick chain, which hurts his playmaking ability, especially since he has the slasher dribble style, which isn't great. Jump shot is good, but with the low 3-point rating, I mean, he can shoot wide open. He's going to knock it down, but defensively, he's very mediocre. Only 6'4", doesn't have a great player build. He'll block some shots. He's not a terrible card. I think D tier might be a little disrespectful. I'm going to put him in C tier because he's definitely better than all the guys in D tier, and probably better than even a couple of the guys in the C tier. But overall, not a good card. Looking forward to a new D Wade, though. If they change his SIGs, make him a better card. He will have a lot of potential in my team. Eddie Jones, I think, is A tier. Another one of those elite defense 3-and-D shooting guards, similar to Danny Green. Jump shot is really good. 90 shot 3, great speed and excel as well for shooting guard. Great defensive stats. Hall of Fame interceptor, which is one of the best defensive badges in the game, as well as gold clamps, menace, pick dodger, and pickpocket. Playmaking badges are really solid. Shooting badges, the same thing. Doesn't get limitless spot up, but that's the only one he's missing. Jump shot is really good. Not going to be the best playmaker with slash or dribble style, but it's better than nothing. And yeah, just another really good 3-and-D guy, similar to Danny Green. Probably not quite as good as Danny Green, but he's very close, and I still think he does deserve to be in that A tier. Hal Greer, I thought that was Sam Jones. Hal Greer is not a good card at this point. He's another one of those guys who really should be playing the point guard position. He's like, I think he's 6'2". He's similar to Colin Sexton and I'll actually look at the 75th anniversary, but he's similar to Colin Sexton and Donovan Mitchell. But the problem is he doesn't have the dribble style. He's got base dribble style, which sucks. Elite jump shot, but defensively he's too small to be effective at the shooting guard position, and his inability to create his own shot offensively is going to hurt the card. Ignore the stats and the badges. He's just not a good card, especially with a bad dribble style. Definitely a D tier guy. IQ, is he F tier? I don't know. I'm going to look at the card before I make that judgment, but another guy, he's only 6'3", which is not great size, missing a lot of badges. You can't badge him out defensively just because he's a sapphire. It's just not worth it. Bad defensive stats are terrible. He might be able to dunk wide open, but that's it. He's undersized. Jump shot is good, but base dribble style sucks. Yeah, this card is terrible. I highly recommend never using this card, especially at the shooting guard position, but really in general at this point. Not a guy I recommend. I think he's F tier. Jalen Green might be C tier. I'm going to put him in D tier for now. I haven't looked at this card in a very long time, to be fair. 90 offense, 82 defense, 6'6" is solid size, 90 speed and excel. Terrible defensive stats and badges. Doesn't get quick first step, doesn't get limitless. Yeah, this card is dirt. Jump shot I know is pretty good. Jump shot 95 is decent. It's the same base as Paul Reeves, and quick dribble style as well is good. So he can move in the half court, but no quick first step hurts, no limitless hurts, and terrible defensive badges hurt. He's not as bad as Emmanuel Quickley, so I'm not going to put him in the F tier, but definitely another pretty bad card. James Harden, I think is still B tier. Not a great card at this point, especially this specific Harden, but he's not completely terrible either. 86 speed and excel isn't bad, as well as 86 good ball. He can dunk, can shoot, and can play a little bit of defense. Gold clamps, ankle braces, pogo stick, silver intimidator, pickpocket, pick dodger, and bronze menace. Can't upgrade any of his badges, but he already has limitless spot up on silver. No sniper, which hurts a bit. No posterizer, but does have a silver quick first step, gold bullet, bailout, glue hands, handles for days, decent size, gold quick chain, 6'5" with 6'10" wingspan. Jump shot is solid. He's got James Harden dribble style, which acts as fundamental. He's one of the shiftier and harder to guard cards in the game as well. Not a bad card. I think Harden is still a B tier guy. Now the other Harden, and this is tough, because this one's tough to me. Is he S tier? Looking at the other guys who are left on the shooting guard list, I'm going to put him in S tier. I think Harden is an S tier shooting guard. Honestly, the Diamond Harden is such a good card. For one, he comes very, very complete. Not a lot of badges missing at all. I mean, you could say he's missing the Interceptor badge, the Chase Down Artist badge. Those are probably the two badges that I'll point out that you definitely would want to add them. Besides that, he's not missing anything. Silver little spot up that can be upgraded to gold. Gold sniper, catch, chef, blinders, mismatch expert. Great playmaking badges. Defensive stats are solid. Slashing is solid. Really good speed, super ball, and acceleration, and a great three-point shot. Same thing with the shifty. The way he moves is very shifty. Fundamental dribble style, but good sigs in the half court and the full court. Harden release is super solid. He's just a much better version of the other Harden. Does everything on the court at a higher level, and I think that's an S tier shooting guard to me. Back-to-back S tier shooting guards with Mr. Jason Richardson. I do think he is S tier among the cards that we have right now at the shooting guard position. 6'6" with a 6'11" wingspan. Hotspots from everywhere outside the three-point line. 9 hops, including catch and shoot, quick first step, pogo stick, downhill, as well as limitless takeoff and posterizer. 90 shot 3, great slashing, great speed of ball, and acceleration. Defense is solid. Defensive badges are solid as well. He can get intimidator, menace, rim protector, things like that if you want to add them to him. Jump shot is solid. Power dribble style sucks, and that does hurt the card that he can't create his own shot, but he does everything else well, and I still think that is an S tier card because he's an elite shooter, elite slasher, solid defender. Maybe not an elite defender, but does everything well except for create his own shot. And honestly, I do think he is better than the guys in A tier, so I think he's an S tier guy. Jaylen Brown is another A tier shooting guard. He was really good for his time, like really, really good. Still, honestly, a solid card all the way around. Hall of Fame posterizer, Hall of Fame catch and shoot, pick dodger, and pogo stick as well. 90 lateral quickness, solid interior and block for a guard, which isn't bad. 90 driving dunk, really nice shooting and speed with ball ability. Jump shot is really good. Slasher dribble style isn't great, but it's better than base or power. He can get quick first step added. Unfortunately, doesn't get actually a gold sniper and silver limit spot up is really solid, so he can stretch the floor pretty well. Catch and shoot, he's really good. He's just another super solid 3-and-D guy. He can grade his own shot just a bit as well. Definitely still an A-tier shooting guard. Jim Paxson is a day 1 diamond token reward. I'm pretty sure this card is bad. I don't know that for sure, but I'm gonna put him in the D tier. 6'6", poor shooting ability, doesn't get limitless, does get sniper, but I don't recommend badging out a card like this. Doesn't get quick for step, doesn't get clamps. He's a defensive card who doesn't play defense. This card is terrible. D tier. I'm not even gonna waste any time. J Reddick is going to be a shooter, and I assume that's it. I'm gonna give him a chance, but I admittedly have not looked at this card, I don't think, all year. Do I have to type it in by last name? There we go. J Reddick. 6'4" with 6'3" wingspan, so he's undersized, no finishing badges, needs defensive badges, and I don't recommend badging him out, especially with the bad lateral quickness. He's going to be a knockdown shooter, but that's literally it. He's going to give you nothing else on the court except for shooting. Jump shot is good. It's always good, but he gives you nothing but shooting, and I think if you don't do anything else well on the court, I think you're a D tier guy. Similar in level, honestly, to a Hal Greer, maybe a bit better just because he's got better size, but just not a good card at this point in the game. Jordan Clarkson, is he D or C? I don't really know. Another one of those guys who's a bit undersized at the shooting guard position, but not the worst card in the world, I guess. 6'4" with 6'8" wingspan. Badge-wise, he doesn't get limitless spot up, doesn't get defensive badges like clamps, and I don't recommend badging out a card like this anyway. Really poor defender. I guess 6'4" isn't terrible size. Jump shot is good. Shifty dribble style is good. Full court dribble sigs are decent. Does have gold quick for steps, so he can create his own shot at a solid level. I think I'm being a little bit harsh putting him in D tier. He's better than the guys in D tier, so he's a C tier guy. Still not a great card at all. Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole is one of those like B to C tier guys. Not the worst, but not the best either. I think he's what, 6'5", 6'4", I'm sorry, 6'6" wingspan. Hot shots are almost everywhere. 88 speed and excel, 87 speed the ball, can dunk wide open, can shoot a solid amount, and then defensively he's not the worst, but he doesn't get any good defensive badges, so that hurts him. Playmaking badge wise, he's really good. Shooting badges are solid, but he does need sniper and doesn't get limitless spot up. His release is really good. His sigs are really good with the pro thing behind the back, as well as the quick dribble style. So offensively he's actually a very good card, but defensively he's very limited. I think even B tier might be a bit generous, but I'm going to leave him in that B tier for now. Actually no, I'm going to move him down to the C tier. I think he's one of the best cards in C tier, but still a C tier guy. Julius Erving is the second to last S tier shooting guard on this list. I think he is elite. I think you could make the argument that he's the second best shooting guard in my team. 98 offense, 96 defense, 6'6" with a 6'11" wingspan, hotspots from everywhere outside the 3-point line. He's cryogenically glitched to shoot, so he has Hall of Fame catch and shoot, limitless spot up, and sniper, in addition to the Hall of Fame slashing badges. Elite slasher, elite shooter, elite athleticism, really good defender as well. Not missing a lot of key badges. Like, he does need interceptor, maybe some playmaking badges. Rim protector is a good one to add, but he's not missing a lot of key badges at all. Rudy Gay base is amazing. Slasher dribble style is better than nothing. He's very, very fast. He's an elite card. I think he's the best card in S tier so far, and I love Julius Erving. He's on my main God squad, and we'll see if he lasts on the main God squad, because I don't think he's the best shooting guard in the game, but definitely a really, really good card. Kelly Oubre Jr. is a really nice 3-and-D card. Honestly, better than I expected him to be when I did a gameplay on this card earlier this year. 6'7" with 7'2" wingspan, is super solid size for the shooting guard position. Solid offensive card, can shoot, can slash, solid speed, and good defense as well. Problem is he needs clamps, he needs intimidator, he needs menace, so he needs some badges for sure, but silver quick for step is decent. Shooting wise, he's solid. Does need limitless spot up as well, though. He's kind of missing some badges. I don't know if he's an A tier guy. I'm going to throw him in the B tier because I don't think he's quite an A tier guy because of the badges he's missing. Jump shot is decent. Power dribble style sucks. Definitely a B tier guy. Not an elite card, but definitely not bad either. Kevin Herter is either B or C. He's a really good budget Ruby, but the thing is, he's a Ruby, so I don't recommend badging him out. So what you have is kind of what you get. 22 gold badges, including a bunch of good shooting badges, limitless spot up, and sniper. No quick for step. You can add it, but I don't recommend it. Same thing with clamps and interceptor. So he's not going to play any defense. He can dunk wide open. Shooting is really good. He's got Trey Young release on quick, which is super good. Shifty dribble style and pro 3 behind the back as well. So offensively, he's going to be elite, especially with the quick for step badge, but even without it, he's going to be super good on offense. Defensively, he's atrocious. I'm going to put him in the C tier. One of the best cards in C tier, similar to Jordan Poole, but not a great card at this point in the game. And now we have come to the best card on the shooting guard tier list, and I don't think it's particularly close. Klay Thompson is the best shooting guard in the game currently, and arguably the best shooting guard best card, I should say, in my team. 95 offense, 96 defense, 6'6" with a 6'9" wingspan, hotspots from everywhere. Hall of Fame catch and shoot, diamond quick for step, and clamps, which are some of the best Hall of Fame badges in my team. Not missing any key badges except for maybe a chase down arts, maybe a mismatch expert, chef, rim protector, but you can add all of those badges. Also have space to add a posterizer or a limitless takeoff as well. 96 shot 3, can dunk wide open. He's got good dunk animations stats, even with only a 75 driving dunk. Defensive stats are elite. Speed to ball acceleration is also elite. Jump shot is elite. SIGs are really, really good. He's one of the few shooting guards who can actually create as a primary ball handler at a high level and also defend at a high level. But he's one of the best defensive shooting guards in the well, as well, in addition to being probably the best offensive shooting guard. Just overall, an incredible card. Highly recommend Klay Thompson to basically any squad in my team. You should pick him up if you don't already have him. And I think he's definitely an S tier guy. Kobe is still probably A tier. I hope we get a new Kobe soon. We'll have to wait and see, but it wouldn't shock me to get one in the near future. But that being said, 93 offense, 89 defense, hotspot from the left corner. He's missing a lot of badges, which does hurt the card, but no sniper, no limitless. So those are two of the most crucial badges. But the thing is, his stats are super solid. 85 driving dunk, good balanced defense, 83 shot 3, 88 speed to suited ball is not bad. Kobe release is amazing. His dribble style acts like quick or shifty, which is really, really good. SIGs wise, he's decent in the half court, or in the full court, and half court wise, he has the Kobe escape and Kobe's signature combo, which is really, really good. Helps him to move very well in the half court. And he's a great, great card. His release is amazing. His defense is solid. He's a great all-around card. I might be gassing it a bit, putting him in the A tier, but I am so high on Kobe, and I still think you can actually use him. Honestly, even in a borderline competitive setting, and still have success with the card. Definitely a really, really good card. And I hope he gets a new upgrade soon, because if Kobe does get a new upgrade soon, he has potential to be one of the best couple, or maybe even the best shooting guard in my team. But yeah, probably still an A tier guy. Kyle Korver is B tier. He's a knockdown shooter, and I think he can defend a little bit, but let me see to make sure. Obviously going to be an elite shooter, Hall of Fame blinders, every shooting badge. He does get a bunch of badges if you want to add them to him, but I don't recommend badging out a card like Kyle Korver. He's kind of slow. Jump shot is really good. Slasher dribble style is bad though. Jump shot 14 is amazing, but all he's going to do is shoot. He's another C tier guy. He's on the same level as Jordan Poole and Kevin Huerter, both mediocre guys who just don't play a lot of defense. So for me personally, still a C tier guy. Latrell Sprewell is B tier and maybe even like borderline A tier. Latrell Sprewell is actually a solid-ish card. I think he's the 500 win reward in Triple Threat Offline. And he is 89 speed and excel, 86 shot 3, 90 driving dunk, solid defensive stats, good suited ball as well. Clamps on gold, pick dodger, pogo stick on gold, silver interceptor, intimidator, silver quick first step. Shooting badges are decent. Does get limitless, does not get sniper, which sucks a bit. Finishing badges are decent as well. Jump shot 4 is good. Slasher is not great. He's a decentish card, not great, not bad though. He does play a little bit of defense, can shoot wide open, can slash a bit. Not going to be the best creator by any means, but overall a solid enough card, and I think you could still run him and have a bit of success with him. So I think B tier is probably fair for a guy like Kobe, or not Kobe, Latrell Sprewell. Lou Dort is undersized, but he's such an elite defender that I'm still going to put him in the A tier, because he's a really good catch and shoot player who can also defend. Needs sniper and limitless spot up. Needs actually, he already has bailout, bullet passer, glue hands, downhill, and quick first step, which are the key playmaking badges. Defensively, ankle braces, clamps, and this is awesome. Great defensive stats as well. Can shoot wide open, can slash, and see decent speed as well. Jump shot is super solid. He is a great all-around card. A little bit undersized, but his defensive ability is very, very nice and gives him a lot of versatility on the court as a whole, and I think that is still an A tier guy. This Luca Doncic card, Luca is my favorite player in the league. I'm going to say that right now. I think he's F tier. As much as it pains me to say that, I love Luca, my favorite player in the league. Y'all know I'm a huge Mavs fan. This card is atrocious. He has a ton of badges, but he doesn't have limitless spot up, which is a key badge. Does have quick first step, which is good, I guess, but defensive badges are terrible. He's probably not F tier. His jumper is terrible though. Base dribble style is terrible. Stats wise, he's terrible defensively. He's not going to play any defense at all. A little bit slow, can't shoot the ball that well. This card is just not good. He's atrocious on both ends of the court. Unfortunately, I'm going to put him in F tier. He's not as bad as Emmanuel Quickly probably, but he's just not a good card at all. Definitely an atrocious card. I don't recommend running him at all. Marcus Smart is A tier. He's one of the best Ruby cards in the game, if not arguably like right up there for the best Ruby card in the game. Hotspots are everywhere outside the three-point line. A lot of badges as well. Already gold sniper, silver limitless spot up. Has the playmaking badges he needs. Defensively, he's really solid. He's a bit undersized at 6'3", but similar to Lou Dort, plays a lot of defense. Also has the ability to create his own shot, which is really nice with the quick dribble style. Great jump shot, like really, really good jump shot. He can kind of play point guard for you, and in fact, I think he's better at point guard if you do add a ball handle shoot to him. But even at shooting guard, he's really solid because he shoots at a high level, can defend a solid bit, and just overall a really good card. And I still think he does deserve to be in that A tier. Marquez Johnson is another one of those probably F tier guys. This card is atrocious. Season 1 Ascension reward, not a great shooter, can slash a bit, but defensively he's super mediocre. Does not worth adding any badges to, and he isn't missing a lot of badges anyway. Only bronze, quick first step, no clamps, no limitless, no sniper. His jump shot is the same base as Dominique Wilkins. Fundamental dribble style is okay, I guess, but it's just another terrible card. I'm going to give him the benefit of that and put him in the D tier because I don't think he's quite as bad as the guys who are in F tier, but definitely a bad card for sure. MJ, another guy who's just not a good card. As much as he's like arguably the greatest player in the history of basketball, in my team he's just not very good right now. 6'6" with a 6'11" wingspan, no hot shots outside the three-point line. None of his shooting badges are actually crucial, even though he does have 2 Hall of Fame badges. Doesn't get limitless or sniper or catch and shoot or blinders or chef or dead eye or any of the good shooting badges. Defensive badges are solid, but he doesn't get pickpocket, doesn't get ball stripper, doesn't get rim protector. I have to add the quick first step to him. He's got good speed, but his jumper is mediocre. Slash dribble style is not that good. He's not going to be that knockdown of a shooter, not going to be an elite playmaker, not going to be able to create his own shot that well, and he's not the lockdown defender that you want to see out of MJ either. Unfortunately, as much as it might seem a little bit disrespectful to put MJ in the C tier, I think that's where he deserves to go. Michael Redd is yet another S tier shooting guard. Definitely a solid but not completely elite card. Jump shot wise, he's amazing. He's a solid defender as well, not missing a lot of badges at all. Knockdown shooter for sure. Ray Allen base left-handed is super easy to green. Base dribble style sucks. He's a great 3-and-D guy who doesn't defend quite as well as a couple of the other guys in this list, and there's just nobody in the S tier that I would take him over, and for that reason I'm putting him in A tier because I'm only putting 5 guys in the S tier. But that being said, there's a lot of good shooting guards, and a lot of these A tier shooting guards are really, really good cards, and Michael Redd is one of them. Mitch Richmond is C or D tier. Not even sure where I'd put him at this point. Early in the year, he was really good, like as a token reward first couple days of the game. 6'5" with 6'8" wingspan is good. Sigs are decent. Jump shot is really good. But he doesn't get limitless spot up, which hurts him as being a sniper. Quick first step you need to add. Doesn't get clamps. Doesn't get intimidator. He does get interceptor and menace. He's not the worst, I guess. I think C tier is probably fair. I don't think he's quite a D tier guy. And he's a knockdown shooter, but honestly, just not the best creator anymore. Defensively, he struggles a lot. Just not a very good card at this point. Monte Ellis is another F tier shooting guard. Incredibly undersized, doesn't have the ability to create his own shot. He's a bad defender. He is missing a lot. I don't recommend adding any badge to this card. He's only 6'3", but as a 6'2" wingspan, he's a terrible defender. Base dribble style, his jumper is good, but that's all he gives you. He's basically Hal Greer, except probably even worse, just because he's not as good defensively. And yeah, just not a card I recommend running at all. I think he's an F tier guy. Strongly recommend against running him, in fact. OJ Mayo. I'm not sure if OJ Mayo is B or C tier. I'm going to look at the card and decide for sure, but I'm going to go B tier for now. 6'5" with a 6'8" wingspan. Solid speed of ball and acceleration. Defensive badges, I don't recommend badging out of Ruby, like I've said, so not that great. Or basically pretty actually awful. Playmaking badges are good. Does need limitless spot up, but again, I don't recommend adding it to him. Does come with silver sniper, which is nice. Jump shot I know is pretty good. Base dribble style sucks. This card is not very good. I'm going to put him in the C tier. Not the worst card in the world, but definitely not a very good card either. Paul Reason, he's 6'5", which is nice, or maybe it's 6'4". 6'4", I'm sorry. But he's just not great. The 75th anniversary can get any badge, which is nice, but he needs a lot of badges. He needs quick first step. He needs limitless. He needs sniper. He needs clamps. He needs interceptor. He needs pickpocket. He needs too many badges that you can't really give him. Stats wise, he's decent. He can dunk well. He can shoot well. His jumper is good. His sigs are good in the half court, but he needs too many badges, and he's not the biggest shooting guard in the world. I still think he's a B tier guy. I'm sorry, I put him in the A tier. I think he's probably B tier at shooting guard, A tier at point guard, but yeah, not a great card. I don't really recommend running him at the shooting guard position when you have a lot of better options in the A tier or S tier. Ray Allen is yet another A tier shooting guard. I know I dropped him in the C tier, but definitely an A tier guy. Ray Allen is one of the best shooting guards in the game. Not quite good enough to be in the top tier, but similar to Michael Redd, he's got elite shooting badges, really solid badges all the way around, not missing a lot of crucial things at all. Solid defender, good speed, can dunk the ball as well. Ray Allen release is really good. Slasher dribble style isn't bad. He's a slightly better playmaker than Michael Redd, probably a slightly worse defender than Michael Redd. It's close between the two of them. They're very similar cards, and I think they both deserve to be in that A tier. Richard Hamilton, I don't even know. Is he A tier or B tier? I don't know, because I never have looked at this card because I was never going to lock him in. But Rip Hamilton, 89 speed excel is good. 92 shot 3 is good. 8 driving dunk isn't bad. Defensive stats are solid. He comes with most of the defensive badges he gets. He can get any badge. Needs quick first step, limitless, chef, intimidator, menace. He needs some badges, sure, but if you badge him out, he's solid. Jump shot 40 is decent. On normal, it's not great. Power dribble style sucks, but badge and stat wise, he's really good. So because of how good he is badge and stat wise, I'm going to put him in the A tier, despite the fact that I don't think the card is great. But I think A tier is fair for him at this point. Richie Guerin, a card who honestly, just another guy who's outdated. He's he was a day one card. He's not worth running at this point. Only 6'4", needs too many badges, and most of the badges that he needs you can't add to him, like the clamps, the intimidator, the ankle braces, the ball stripper, limitless spot up. I don't recommend adding badges to cards like this at this point in the game. Does have quick dribble style, which is nice, so he can create his own shot a bit, and he can shoot the ball at a good level, but he's a defensive liability even with good defensive stats because he's not super big and he's missing a lot of those defensive badges. And then yeah, he just needs too many badges. Not a great card. I think he's probably C tier at this point. Ron Boone, I'm going to go C tier because he actually does come relatively solidly in badges, but the thing is he is also very undersized, coming with what, 6'2" height, 6'3" wingspan, 84 shot 3. He can dunk wide open, but that's it. 91 speed, acceleration, speed of the ball is good, but he doesn't get limitless spot up, which hurts. He needs sniper, and I don't recommend adding badges to this card. Defensively, he comes with solid defensive badges as well as solid playmaking badges, which is good. Jump shot is solid with PG base. Quick dribble style is really good. Pippin behind the back is that Pro 3, which is great as well. He's not a bad card at this point, but the thing is he's undersized. He's missing some badges. Definitely a C tier guy. Terry Rozier is D tier. He is another one of those short point guards who just can't create his own shot either. At the shooting guard position, those cards are not useful at all. 6'1" is terrible height. Great speed of ball and acceleration, but doesn't help him that much when you have a bad dribble style. Don't come with any defensive badges, and it's not worth adding badges to a card like this. Can't get limitless spot up either. Jump shot is good, but that's about all you have going for you, especially when your base dribble style is not that good. He can shoot the ball at a high level, and he can play make a little bit, but the playmaking is taken away by the fact that he's got the base dribble style. That cancels out that playmaking. So really, not a good card at all. I'm doing him a favor to not put him in the F tier, but definitely not a good card at all. Troy Daniels is I don't actually know how good this card is. I don't want Troy Brown Jr. Sorry, Troy Brown Jr. But Troy Daniels is a Sapphire who can shoot the lights out of the ball. Another card who can shoot the lights out of the ball, and that's it. Where did I put the cards that can shoot the lights out of the ball? And that's it. I think where did I put J Reddick? What did I just do? I hope it didn't just reset the tier list that I was. Oh, no. No way I just screwed this up, right? Thank God, we're still good. But where did I put Tim? I think I put him in the C tier. No, JJ Redick's in the D tier, which means Troy Daniels should be in the D tier too. He should join them there. They're basically the same card. Knockdown shooters who did nothing else for you on the court. Walter Davis is in the B tier. He's a budget Tracy McGrady. And Tracy McGrady is actually a primary small forward right now. So the reason that you don't see Tracy McGrady on this tier list is because of him being a primary small forward. So he'll be on that tier list. But 92 offense, 85 defense, 6'6" with a 6'9" wingspan, 89 speed and excel, 80 shot 3, 94 driving dunk, 88 perimeter, 87 lateral. Shooting badges are decent. Doesn't get limitless, does get sniper. Clamps does have quick first step bailout, bullet passer, glue hands it downhill. He does have, can get a couple defensive badges as well, like interceptor and chase down artist. Release is super solid. Trey Burke and Kobe is a great release. Slasher dribble style. He's just a smaller, not as good T-Mac. B tier. Yeah, B tier seems fair for him. I think he's one of the best cards in B tier. I think you could even make the argument that he's A tier, but I'm going to go B tier with Walter Davis just because I don't think he's that elite of a card. And then finally, you have Zach LaVine, who's probably one of the worst cards in B tier, but because of his offensive ability, I still would put him in the B tier. 84 speed and excel isn't great at all. Defensively, he's terrible, and he doesn't get any defensive badge, but he is an elite offensive card. Really good jump shot, quick dribble style, full court dribble 6 with the Pro 8 between the legs is phenomenal. Shooting badges are solid, finishing badges are really good, and then playmaking badges are decent as well and can be upgraded. He doesn't play defense, but offensively, he's an elite card. I'm still going to put him in the B tier despite his inability to play defense because of how good of an offensive card he is at this point in the game. But this is my tier list for the shooting guard position. Let me know what you think of the guys that I put in S tier. Is there anybody you'd switch with? Anybody in A tier? Who did I rank too high? Who did I rank too low? What did you think of my list as a whole and all that stuff? Please leave a comment down below and let me know. But yeah, if you did enjoy it, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe as well. And I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.